So performance testing course. So we can have like around 30 classes for to finish this course. Okay, 30 classes for this course. Okay, and so we are going to teach perform testing. Actually, when you coming to testing, so normally people know like functional testing in terms of automation and manual testing only. But when you're coming to perform testing, most of the people don't know like performance testing and all. Okay, there are multiple testings are there like DB testing, Salesforce testing, security testing, multiple testings are there. So major when you're talking about testing, so first one we are talking about the functional testing. So functional testing who will come under this manual tester and the automation tester. Okay. So when you're talking about functional testing, manual tester, automation tester. So what manual tester will do? So for example, if you are taking any website, so let's say Amazon application. So when you take this application, so as part of manual tester, so they will test the application UI, like whether particular. So when you click on this button, so whether this button is working or not. Okay, so they will validate. So whether the particular page is coming or not. So they will validate accordingly for that particular uh, action. So as part of performance tester, so when you are filling any form, for example, when you are filling, so let me log out and so when you are filling this form, so if you are not entering any mobile number, right, so it will ask you to enter the mobile number. So this is the validation. So if it is not asking this uh, mobile number, so it will come as a red color. So we have to report this bug to the developer to tune this particular issue. Okay, so yeah, as part of functional tester, they will test the functionality of the application. So as part of automation tester, you will check the code whenever you clicking on button. So how it is acting. So whether it is a 90% code or not. So when you're talking about the performance testing, so whenever sorry. So whenever you're accessing application, so let's say example, this is the URL for Amazon application. When you are entering this application, so how long the page is taking to load? So this is page is come, right? So how much time it is taking to load this particular page, whether it's 1 second or 2 seconds. So to measure the response time, technical term we are calling as a response time. So to measure the response time, so we are going to do the perform testing. So for example, when you're clicking on any button, for example, so I'm going to the yes. So when you're clicking any button, so how long this page is taking to load that? So we'll take. So we'll measure the like a start and stop watch. So before that, we are starting the stopwatch. And when I click on this one, whenever the page is loaded, I have stopped the stopwatch. So we can take like how long it is taking, 1 second or 2 seconds, we can measure. But as for performance testing, we cannot conduct manually, because if you want to conduct for manually, so in real time, so Amazon application are accessing like millions of people, right? So in order to calculate the response time manually, it is not possible, because so we need to take for example, if you are going to conduct the test for 1,000 users, we need to hire 1,000 resources to conduct the perform testing for this application. So that is not possible, and it is taking use use time, and it will not get the accuracy. So ask people to start and stop watch. So when I ask 1,000 people, so they will not kick at a time, right? So that will not give the accuracy results, and also it will consume lot of time to measure the response time, and it will take like a more budget. So that's why we are having some tools which are inbuilt tools are there, like load runner, JMeter. So most popular tool is a load runner. So that's why we'll go for the load runner to record this application, and we'll do the performance testing. Sorry guys. So we'll measure the response time. So for that, we are going to do the performance testing. First of all, we need to know like what is the application. So actually, there are multiple applications, right? Okay, e-commerce application, retail-based application, like you'll buy the grocery items like a Jepto, next Big Basket, like that, right? So those all are application, retail-based applications, e-commerce application, Amazon, Flipkart, and some like what else applications are there? Logistic application, bank application, insurance application. So there are multiple applications are there. So for every application, we'll do the perform testing to measure. So first of all, you need to understand what is application, how the request is going. So for example, we'll measure the, I'm asking one person, X person, to go from one destination to another destination. Another destination for the measuring time, like I'm asking one person to go from 5 kilometers from X destination to Y destination. So I will calculate how long it is taking. So like that also, whenever we are going to the application, so we'll click on function. So the request which is going from the client. So this is the client side request. So I'm clicking on this request. So this request is going to the server, app server, DB server. Okay, so it will, client request will go to the server, and server will give the response back to the client. That means, so you log into the Gmail account, right? So you'll give username, password, and you're clicking and sign in. You're sending request to the database. So if your credentials are there, your username and password is there for that particular Gmail account, it will give the response back to the client. If it is not there, it will throw an error that you don't have a Gmail account for this so and so email account ID. So for that we'll get the alert. So how it will perform? Like if we are sending request to the server, server will send the request back to the client. So actually, developer will develop the application. So application architecture, how it will looks. So application server. Okay, application server. Next one is a DB server. So here developer will write the code, whether it is a Java, PHP, .NET, any type of application, he will write the code. Here DB server. DB server means MySQL or Oracle or MySQL. So there are a different DB servers are there. So what application developer will do, he will write the code using different technology, and DB developer will write the create the tables based on the application. So for example, if you are taking this application, right? So this application, this code and all, front end developer, that means HTML, CSS, JavaScript. So it will look like, HTML means whatever content you write it, right, it will display here. CSS means styles, like how it will look, colors, and whether it is in middle or left or right. So they will write the code. Backend developer, he will write the code and fetch the details from the database. So application developer will write the code, and it will give the details from the DB server. So in order to access the end users, so they have developed the application, but we don't have access, right? In order to put their code in the servers, so to access for the online users or end users or customers. So the Amazon has developed the application. So without delivering their applications to customers or end users, there is no point, right? So to make the business, they are putting their application into the cloud or servers. So that server we are calling as a web server. Okay, so this is the web server. So web server means like they will give some, based on the business requirements, they will give the some storage to store their information to access the end users or customers. So customers to access the application, they will give some storage in terms of servers. They will maintain the database servers and application servers in their web servers. So to for that, so like you guys are heard about like a HostGator, GoDaddy. So these are the vendors. They will provide the space for to put our code into servers, and they will maintain our code, and they will give the assurance like security for the our application should not hack or something, okay, crash the application. So whenever we are deploying means web server. So whenever we are meeting, this is the web server. Whenever we are calling this request, it is going to the app server, and app server to DB server. For example, when you are clicking on sign in, so I clicked on the sign in using the web server because the application able to access for the end users or customers. So we are able to access the application, and we can click on the action. So whenever we am giving some mobile number or email ID, when I click on continue, it will go to the, so application what the developer will write the code, and it will go to the database whether this particular user is exist in the application or not, database or not. So if it is exist, it will log into the application. If it is not exist, it will throw an error that that particular person is not available. So this is the architecture application. So if you are taking any application, web server, app server, DB server, so this is the application architecture. There might be multiple components which we involve for the between these servers, so that we can discuss later. So as of now, so you should understand that there's an application server and a DB server. They will write the code in the application server, and they will write some tables and insert the like customer details and information and all in the DB server. Whenever developer write the code, and it will fetch from the DB, and it will give the information to the web server. So first we'll go to the online browser. So where our application is exist in the web server, they have provided some space for us. And whenever clicking on sign in or any particular function, so it will take request to the application server, and application server to DB server, and the request it will go to the application server, and application server to web server to access the client. So this is the application. So whenever we are hitting the request, so whenever we are hitting the request is going from the web server to application server to DB server. So whenever we're hitting, so if it is not taking like more than 5 seconds, so the customer might get frustrated, right? So he will not stay in this particular application and do the business. So in order to minimize the business, so we lost the business, right? If I am clicking on mobiles, the page keep on loading, it is not responding back to the client. So customer might get frustrated, and he will go for the some other vendor to book like any mobile or any particular electronic items or anything. So whatever you want to choose that. So in order to avoid that business, so to make our application faster, scalability and stability of the application, we do the performance testing. So to measure the response rate, whenever I click on do today deals, so it should appear in 1 second or 2 second or 3 second. It should not cross the 5 seconds. If it is crossing 5 seconds, means we need to report whether it is the application developing code level issue or a network in the sense like where the user is accessing the application, right? The bandwidth. So you should access for the low bandwidth also, our application network level issues, any network level issues also we can report them. And the DB server, so in DB server they might not give proper name like customer ID, customer name, customer age or something. So it should give some proper naming convention. So, and the application developer will write the based on the naming convention. So it should match with the whatever developer is writing naming and the DB server having naming. So it should match and it will fetch the details to the client. So those issues will report. So as part of the pop-up testing, when I clicked on today's deals, I have got the 10 seconds. So we need to report. So okay, I have conducted the perform testing for this application. When I clicked on today's deals transaction, I am getting the response time which is more than the 5 seconds. Okay, so more than 5 seconds, which are getting a 10 seconds. Please have a look into the code level issue or a DB level issue, which will report us. So we'll share that details to the developer or DB team to tune that particular issue, and they will tune that issue, and the application will be faster. Okay, so in order to our application should react within a second, so we do the perform testing. In technical term, we are calling as a response time. So to finally to measure the response time, so we are doing the performance testing response time. Okay, in seconds, like 5 seconds. Most of the clients have a SLAs. SLAs means you should not respond the particular transaction in a more than 5 seconds. So that is the SLA. So 5 seconds, if it is getting more than 5 seconds, we have to report that. Okay. So then if it is within the 5 seconds, so okay, application business is good and I will able to get the more orders from the customers, and the functions will be work smoothly. So as part of performance testing, first of all, what is performance testing? So performance testing, there are three terms. Okay, so to speed up the application, and second, scalability. Third one is a stability. Okay, so speed in the sense, okay, so whenever click on this particular transaction, so how long the page is taking to load the page. So that speed in terms of response time, how long it is taking. Scalability means whenever we are clicking on this one, right, so we don't know how many users is clicking at a time. So for example, today 1,000 users access this application, so per particular 1 hour, so around 500 users are clicking on this particular today's deal. So whenever 500 people are coming and clicking on this application, how it is responding. So to measure that response time, 500 people. So in real time, so more people will click on so some actions, right? Like a transaction. So most of the people will search like a mobile. So there might be chance that in a hour, so 500 people are searching this product. So when 500 people are searching this product, it should be respond quickly. So within 5 seconds, you should be respond. Whenever you click on one user, it is should get the 5 seconds. Whenever we are hitting 500 users, also it should be within the 5 seconds. The application should access. So for that, we do the scalability. Next, stability. So there might be application stability. So 24 hours application is accessing, right? So within 24 hours, the application should stability. So should not like sometimes it will respond, and 2 hours it will respond quickly, and 1 hour it will not respond faster. So it should not be like that. So that's why we do the performance testing to make an application faster, scalability, and stability. So for that, we are doing the performance testing. So performance testing is nothing but to measure the response time faster, speed up to measure the speed of the application, and scalability, and also stability of the application. Okay, so for that we do the performance testing. So when we are doing the performance testing, so there are tools are available for the performance testing. So the major tools are performance testing tools. So if I'm going faster, please let me know. Okay, so I will go slowly. So first tool is a load runner, so which is a more popular. Okay, second one is a JMeter, which is a open source. Okay, so load runner is a license based. Okay, license based. JMeter is a open source, so we don't need to buy any license. So as part of our course, we are going to learn load runner and a JMeter. So load runner, is license based on the protocols we are going to test the application. Okay. So coming to perform testing, load runner, license, and geometry is a open source. So what these tools will do is, so whenever we are, so it is like a work as a walkie-talkie. So when, for example, recorder. So in our mobile, so I'm recording this class, right? Like that also, whenever we are clicking on this actions, so for example, launch application, login application, and I'm going to search product. So whatever we are entering this one, right? Using these tools, it will record the application script. So it will record our script. Okay, and we do the some enhancements in terms of correlation parameters. We'll go by one topic. Okay, so load runner, it will record the application and we can do some enhancements and it will measure the response time. So whenever we running our script, it will measure the, okay, launch, it will take 2 seconds, login, it will take 3 seconds. So it will give that response time. So that's why we are using load runner or JMeter tool to record the application. So when you are coming to load runner tool, so we have a 5 components are there. Watch VUGen or virtual generator. Second one is a, it will record the application. Record the application. Second one is controller. Third one is analyzer. Fourth one is agent process. Fifth one is load generator machine. Load generator machines is nothing but whatever machine we are using, right? So that one we are calling as a load generator machine. Okay, so I will show you the what are components. So this is the agent process. Okay. I don't know why this is not moving. Okay, I'll show you tomorrow. So these are the 5 components are available. Okay, virtual generator, it will record the application. So actually, virtual user generator, we can only run for the single user. So to run multiple users, we are going to use the controller to execute the test. We can give multiple users in controller and we can execute the test there. Analyzer. So once we conduct the test, we are going to analyzer and we'll get the reports from the analyzer. So agent process, it will communicate between controller and the load generator machine. Communicating between controller and LG machine. Actually, so to conduct the 500 users, right? So we need to give the more machines. So one machine it will not handle, right? So for that, we are giving multiple LG machines to run for the 500 users. So what it will do, agent process, it will communicate between controller. So whenever we are hitting request from the controller, so it will go to the through agent process, it will go to the load generator machine. Load generator is nothing but a system, so which we are using. So based on the IP address, we can give the load generator machines. So these are the 5 components are involved for the load runner tool. So JMeter is an open source, so we can discuss this one later. So these using load runner, we are going to learn Protocols. So there are protocols are available there. So protocols. We are, as part of our course, we are going to learn the web HTTP, HTML. Second one is the protocol web services. Third one is a true client. Don't worry about now. So we'll go one by one. Okay. True client. These are the three protocols we are going to learn. So performance testing. So we have a concepts. So what are our performance testing concepts? Okay. So these protocols, we are going to learn performance test life cycle. Okay. Second one is these three protocols. Okay. Three protocols. Three protocols. Are you able to hear, guys? Hello. వినపడుతుందా అండి? హలో.
వినపడుతుంది.
Okay, okay. So three protocols and concepts: correlation, parameterization. Fifth one, recording. Sixth one, runtime settings. So we don't need to write any code. Okay. So this is simple. So we will not write the code. Okay. Not even 0.005% we will not write the code. So the tool itself will give all the functions and all. Okay. So just we need to know like what the purpose of that. That's it. Okay. Low runner functions. Web functions. Controller. Analyzer. LRE. Don't worry about the topics. I will tell you one by one. Okay. So as of now, I'm giving just what is the contents of the performance test life cycle. Okay. So for monitoring purpose, we are using the Dynatrace. Okay. 14th, reports creations. 15th, analyzing the application in client side and the server side. Okay. So these are the main concepts. Okay. So daily we'll have a 1 hour class, and if you got any doubts, please let me know. If I'm going faster, also please let me know so that I will go slowly, and I will repeat the class again if you are not understanding any particular concept when I teach you something. Okay. Any doubts, guys?
Right now, no.
Yeah. So I'll share this video class. Please go through once again and just understand. If you're not understanding, just ping me or Sandesh. So we'll discuss on that. Okay. Thank you, guys. I'll share the class.